Hello everyone. Welcome back to the Holy Creative Teacher. This is Heather W. And I am officially moving into and setting up my Makselife flagship planner right here. I have it laid out for you. This is the flourish cover, and this is my January setup. I'm going to go ahead and fill out some of the information from this set, which is I believe it's from the Annual Goals Toolkit. So I'm gonna go ahead and be using the sheets from the Annual Goals Toolkit to kind of map out my goals, to map out specifically some areas that I want to work on, and then so that I can actually add that information here. So I'm so excited, you guys. Let's go ahead and dive in. Okay, so let me show you what I have for my setup today. I have the washies, the Makselife washies that I went ahead and I got these with the kit, with the bundle during Black Friday. I have the Moxie markers. I'm not sure how I will use them. I have the Moxie dot markers. I will be using these. I have the Moxie pen. I'm gonna go ahead and use maybe the purple one. They're all the same color, but I know, oh, so this one's brand new. I haven't used it yet, so I'm just gonna go ahead and remove some of that pen, the cover from the pen, so that I can kind of use this pen and write with it pretty well. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm gonna go ahead and take my flagship planner. I'm gonna put it to the side over here, and you probably see a little bit of my equipment, but that's okay. I want you guys to kind of get a full view of everything that I'm doing for my setup here. So let's go ahead and let's go through this toolkit together. I want to make sure you see I have some pretty good lighting there. All right, so you have your personal area, fun and recreation, work and learning, family and relationships, health and wellness, spiritual and personal growth, financial, physical environment, AM and PM routines. And I actually am not going to fill this one out because I already have a system sheet that I have laminated. So I'm going to go ahead and put this to the side over here. This is a yes and no list. This I will not need for today. The seasonal bucket list or the quarterly intentions, those are from actually a different kit. So I'm just going to focus on the areas of life worksheets that I have. So now the way this works is that, and I'll just put these here, for each area of a life, you put your current score and your goal score for the compass assessment. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm just going to move that as far back as I can. Let's see if I can actually slide there we go. I know you see the little glare over here, but that light is like saving us today. So, okay. There we go. Much better. I think you can see a little bit better now. All right, I'm going to go ahead. I already took the compass assessment, which is already in the flagship planner. Here we go. So here are my scores. So I'm going to go ahead and start with personal. And let me just make sure on the back we are writing beautifully. Perfect. So for my personal, my score was a 7.8. And I'm just going to take a sip of my coffee here. Sorry about that. All right. My goal score for personal is, I would like it to get to like an 8.5. I don't ever say I want it to get like to a 9 or a 10, because I feel like this is something I always want to work towards in my life. And now the question and the focus for this worksheet is, what changes need to happen to arrive at your goal score? What does it look like? How do you feel? Brainstorm ideas below. So let's go ahead and do this. Let's go ahead and take out the pens, the dot markers, and make sure I have the right one. This is the personal dot marker, and I'm gonna go ahead and put some bullet points here because why not? Let me make sure that they're all lined up in the same area. They're not so straight, but whatever. And then maybe what I could do, maybe a little bit of washi. Let me see how that would look. Since these washi's are so skinny, I'm going to keep them on the ring, but I can always just use my nail to pull it up. Let's see. Can I just do like a little, oh, that's pretty cute. Look at that. See? And this washi rips perfectly, by the way. If you were wondering, the washi, it's thin, yes, but it peels like beautifully. It's like a really good washi, actually. Very nice for lining, putting just like thin lines in your pages. So I'm going to put my pen here. So let's see what changes need to happen. Well, definitely I feel like my schedule, my personal schedule definitely needs to kind of be a little more refined. And I even noticed today that something I did throughout the day that I felt like today, I mean, I worked pretty well in terms of personal goals, but I do feel like I kind of just went after it too hard. And I'm afraid that if I keep doing stuff like that, I'm going to hit burnout. So that's why I feel like my schedule and my personal, it kind of needs refinement. I need like really definitely to make sure that I have a refined personal schedule for myself. This is just a little sticky I used to do the scores. So I'm going to put that over there. Let's see. Personal. Now, again, schedule, personal refinement. I do feel like I want to work a little bit more on like time for myself, maybe journaling a little bit, and maybe it doesn't have to be journaling like on camera, but more like that personal reflection that I need more of. So I'll put that over here. Personal, private reflection. I feel like I'm learning that since I'm online more, it's like you have to make certain decisions about what you want the world to know versus what you want to keep to yourself. So I know that's going to be something I need to work on to get my goal score to an 8.5. Let's see. I'm going to stop there. I don't want to like force it. I want to just kind of let those ideas flow. So I feel like, let's see. Now the next thing is choose 1 to 3 goals from the ideas above that will have the highest impact on your life in this area. Goal number 1 is my, and I was writing about this earlier today, is definitely my schedule. And I feel like goal number 2 is my value system. My values work. And I think personal is goal number 3 is going to be maybe journaling and maybe growth in that area. So, and when I say like schedule, I have to have something more a little bit like refined, but also flexible. So I'm going to put kind of like time block and flexible. Now I'm going to go ahead and work on my fun and rec. Let's go ahead and get the fun and recreation markers out. Here we go. These guys are loud. Okay, I'm just gonna put them there. So, all right, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna just go ahead and put a few bullet points. Let me just like, sometimes I feel like dot markers, they release so much ink, but that's okay. So my current score, 6.8. Definitely not happy about that. My goal score, I think, could be an 8 with fun and rec. And I feel like I don't take time. The change that needs to happen is I need time for rest. And I'll put an exclamation point. Time for rest. I also need time for just fun. And not like maybe spontaneous fun. Not necessarily like, I'm gonna put a little smile there. Not necessarily like structured fun. Just more like, just like spontaneous fun. I definitely want to work in terms of fun and recreation on more connection. I feel like I'm gonna add even connection to my personal goal sheet as well. I'm gonna put personal connections as well here, because I feel like that's something that I need to work on for myself, for my own growth. All right, let's get the washi. I think this is like the reddish one. No, that's there's a few different colors of washi in this set, so it's a little tricky, but since I used the washi for that, the yellow, I want to use the washi for this as well. So I'm going to do this. There we go. Beautiful. Let me make sure. Okay, so my goal is I want to have, for fun and recreation, my number one goal, creative play. Creative play. I really want to work on building those times that, not maybe just those spontaneous times of creative play. How about that? Let's see, goal number 2. I want like more maybe fun, spontaneous activities. And the third goal that I want to work on, maybe I'm using the assessment score, the compass assessment, to give me some ideas. Something that I feel like it's something I should is goal 3 is, I feel like I have to learn how to rest. How about that? Learn how to rest. All right, we are on the way. Let's get to the next one, work and learning. I'm gonna go ahead, set up the washi quickly. I don't want to, because I want to actually set up my January goals for you guys in this same video. I don't want this to be too long. Let's get this guy out of here. Marker. I think what I'm gonna do, I'll just put the markers here. It's just make my life just, you want to do this, you know, not too long. I'm just gonna put like maybe 3 for work and learning. Listen, here's the thing, goals are fluid. You add, you take away. Sometimes you might have a goal in January that you realize this was not a goal I should have had in the first place, and that's okay. For work and learning, I want to hit 8.5/9. And I really should be trying to hit 8.5. All right, that's fair enough. I don't want to be so hard on work, but I want to really, the changes that I know I need to have is focused work time. And I don't know about you, but the reason that I need to have focused work time is because I have a habit of basically like not setting up my structured time. And then I try to do like 10 million things at once and nothing gets done. I cannot continue that process. So for work and learning, I want focused work time. That's the first thing. And I feel like I do need to kind of spend a lot of time on reflection and planning. And that's because for reflection and planning, sometimes I don't, because if I reflect and I plan, that's how I know that I'm doing something I'm supposed to do rather than just jumping into it. So also something for work and learning is I want to work on pacing myself. Because if I don't, again, if you don't spend time pacing yourself on things, I know for a fact what's going to happen is I'm going to wind up like trying to do like 10 million things at once. And it's not going to fly. So goal number 1 for this is I want to practice deep work. I want to focus on project planning. And I just want to let you know the project planning is for my personal business, but it's also for my career as a coach and as a teacher. And my goal number, so I want to focus on deep work, project planning. And the last thing I want to work on, the third goal, I want to work on cultivation and learning. You're going to hear me this cultivation. You're going to hear me this whole year talk a lot about 3 magic words that are very meaningful to me. And one of the words that is basically, I feel like it's going to be like my spirit animal, my spirit word that I'm going to be referring to on a regular basis. And it's the word cultivation. So I feel like for me, a lot of like the whole work and learning aspect, I'm not just, I feel like those are 2 words. That's not just one thing. You're not just focusing on work, right? Because I feel like if we just put our 100% only into work, you're not going to find satisfaction, right? You have to learn. We have to find a balance where we put our hearts and minds and all of our energy into learning as much as we want to work. So now we're at family and relationships. And for family relationships, I am at a 6.8. Now, I know this is low. I tend to score myself way lower, way much lower than normally, but I feel like because I want to push myself to be better, push myself to have more close-knit family and relationships. So I want my family and relationship score to be up to a 9. This is the foundation for me, this spirituality. The rest comes together. So let's get our family and relationship bullet points. Here, this is health. Do I have a purple? You want to hear some? I think I do not have the marker here. Is this the here? Family and relation. I thought I took it out somewhere. I thought maybe I took it out and put it somewhere. It's not as dark. That's okay. All right. Family and relationships. I want to have balanced communication. Communication with family this year. You know that sometimes like there's just never things that are not said that should be said, or that you have to, you know, sometimes have the hard, difficult conversations. I feel like you have to have more, I have to have more communication with family. Again, and I put a 5 at connection here, so I want more connection. Definitely, that's what changes need to happen for next year, is more connection. Let's see. Definitely, I feel like boundaries are important. All right. And then my goal 1 for family and relationships is, I feel like more time for connection. For connection. That's the first one. Goal number 2. And in terms of family and relationships, I just want to see what the other ones are. Okay, I'm on the right track. Then for family and relationships, it's more time for connection, but also more fun. I feel like part of family and relationships should be more about fun and time. So more fun times together. More fun time. I feel like time brings people together, connection, events, activities. So I feel like that's something that I want to focus on for the year. And also, maybe I feel like boundaries are going to be important for me this year moving forward for family and relationships. Now let me turn my compass assessment here. Now let me tell you something interesting that I've learned, that the more and more I do these types of activities for myself, and I learned that just because you have a certain score in something, that score doesn't stay with you the whole year. Sometimes you are able to grow and deepen your grow and accomplish your goals in a shorter amount of time. Let's see if I could just rip it from here. You're able to accomplish your goals in a shorter amount of time than you would. And then there you go. You don't have to like focus on those goals. Can you get out, Matthew? Okay, so let's go over my current score, which is a 7. And for my health and wellness, I want my goal score. I definitely want my health and wellness, I feel like, has to be a 9. Okay, so can I just say something that I'm really proud of is that I personally feel like my health has improved tremendously. So I want a change that definitely needs to happen is a more healthier diet. And I know this is funny, but I write down home lunch. Let me just explain why. Because I work in a school and I have a bad habit of not bringing home lunch enough. So that's always a goal of mine. That's a challenge. That's my stretch goal for me, to be honest with you. So I have healthier diet. I want to say exercise is like, oh my gosh, it's like such a big priority for me, and it's something that I feel like it's always on the side because I need to make time for it. I need to make time for exercise, not just movement, but like maybe a very structured way of just like keeping my physical body strong and healthy. So I do feel like I need strength and energy to help me as well. All right, let's go over those goals. So my goal number 1, healthier diet. I'm going to put water. Protein is very important for me as well. So I'm going to put that down. We'll put, I'm going to put movement / exercise. And I only want to put movement / exercise because that it's not fair to hold myself. Sometimes exercise is trickier, but movement is easier, because movement could be like, if I want to take a walk outside and get fresh air, maybe I could do that for 15 minutes versus like a full 15-minute workout. Goal number 3. Let's see, for my health and wellness. My mental health. So here's what's pretty cool, is that it's not only about your physical and mental health and your physical and your physical strength and wellness, but it's also about your mental health. And are you taking the time to to focus on your emotional well-being? So that's something really important to think about or consider when you are writing your goals and you're thinking about what you want to do for your physical, your mental health and / your wellness, because your wellness is included in that. So I'm gonna go ahead, put maybe 1, 2, 3. My bullet points are not matching. I'm so sorry. They're not like lining up straight, but current score for spiritual wellness is a 7.3. I'd like this to be an 8.5. For some reason, some of them just were different, the way they added up. I do want to work on my devotional books. Prayer, my Bible study. But here's what I'm not doing for Bible study, that I'm setting time aside for it. So that's something that I think I have to challenge myself for. And I'm going to add one more bullet. Because in order for me to accomplish this is a great goal, but in order for me to accomplish this has to be scheduled. It's got to be placed into my planner, guys. If you're not, all these goals that I'm listing are great. None of them will make any traction if I don't schedule it / plan it. You have to have that as a part of your system so that you can accomplish your goals. That's the way it actually works. Goal number 1, Bible study. And I have started some sections of my Bible study, but like the goal is to do at least, honestly, very specifically, it's 3 times a week is what I want to work on. Okay. Let's see. My devotional / prayer book. I do have kind of like a devotional / prayer book. So it's a little different from the Bible study. And then I do want to work on in terms of personal growth. I want commitment, maybe even tracking it to help me build that habit. In terms of personal, I left out one thing, so I'm going to go back to it. Reading for growth. My reading for personal growth is something that is so important to me. I'm going to put a little heart. It's something that is really one of my priorities. I'm actually, you're going to see me set up my reading schedule. So I'm excited to share that with you. I'm going to put my bullet points for the financial. Not sure that there's going to be 4. I'm going to use the green washi tape. This is the easiest washi tape to peel and to cut. Boom, simple. My current score for financial, this is the last one, is 6.1. I'm very tough on myself, but I have to face some realities, folks. I have to face some realities regarding my financial goals. Now, my goal is an 8. Okay, so, and I had a word that I created that I thought about in terms of my my financial goals. So I'm just gonna go over here and get some ideas. Definitely it's savings, payoff, debt. Everyone has something that they're working towards, some type of savings goal or debt goal. Sinking funds. That is something I'm going to be like researching and working towards for my family. And responsible spending. So I'm going to be diving into my January spending, and I'm going to break down like everything in terms of a need and want. And that's going to really hopefully move the needle in terms of me going from a 6.1 to an 8. Goals is a monthly savings goal. I'm not going to write what the goal is here, but that's what that is. Definitely pay off. We have we have one small debt, and then I have a little extra. I'm gonna put a cross. And then definitely I need to budget my spending. And I've tried last year, guys. I 100% tried to get like a budget planner. Was not happening. I didn't stick with it. Maybe I could have tried to stick with it a little more. Maybe if I documented it, but it's not easy. It's not easy when you like pretty things. But it's important to like be responsible with your finances, because, you know, that's how we grow and learn as human beings. It's always important. You never know when there's going to be a day that you're going to need some extra money to take care of some responsibilities. And then if you don't have it, where do you get it from? So it's something, you know, I also have 3 children. Maybe it's important, right, to be like showing them how to be responsible with their finances as well. My physical environment is 7.5, 8.5. Now, I want to I want to reorganize my office. It's just down. I feel like the space is just, I don't even know what to do with it anymore. I want to declutter my bins. I have so many bins of like, stored papers and different things like that. I have to declutter these bins. I have to figure something out for them. Let's see. I have to get a closet for my daughters. That's literally something that we were supposed to do to finish the rooms. I need my china closet space. And I really wanted to work on that. And I do want to work on some storage, some bookshelves. And we were just trying to reorganize some nice spaces in our room to make things just a little bit smoother. I think it would just, you know, it's always good to reorganize and declutter and clean out things you don't need. So my goal number 1 is regular tidying up and clean outs. That means that, you know, whatever you're not using, whatever doesn't fit you, get rid of it, tidy up, make sure things are organized regularly so you don't lose control. My goal number 2 is I'm just going to put my office, because that's going to be like a huge project to work on. So I'm just going to put my office as goal number 2. And I guess goal number 3 is I'm going to put decor for the home. And the decor for the home is like the closet, the bookshelf, you know, some of the closet stuff. It's just some of the spaces that are not completed from our move. So that's my goals there. All right. I want to stop that video here. And as you can see, guys, it's, you know, the compass assessment and the worksheets, doing them together, they actually, I was a little intimidated by this because I felt like I was honestly thinking to myself, this is kind of too much. This is just a little bit too much in terms of breaking down my goals. But I feel like the more and more that you analyze these areas of life and focus on them, I feel like just the more that you're gonna know what specific areas you need to focus on for your personal growth. So thank you guys so much for staying with me, for checking out this video. I hope that this gave you some insight into how you can plan your goals. And if you're using the Makselife system, let me know if you use the compass assessment worksheets or the annual goals worksheets, and tell me if they helped you. Guys, I hope you have a lovely evening, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.